or you can text it to me. We have quite a few questions already, but if you want one, we'll go through them. We'll go through them all. But we'll go ahead and get started. Barbara, good to see you.
Good to see you guys.
Yeah, I'm glad that you guys. That's not what we want. I'm glad you can. Yeah, I know. Let's see. Well, I don't know why it's coming up. Let's see. X out.
Polls coming up.
Yeah, I don't know why. Well, we'll find out. I'll keep Xing out of it. Or you should X out of it too. There should not be a poll in front of you because those are just old. So I invited Joann and Barbara. They were on our team the last couple years, but they transferred last year. I'm going to let them talk to you guys, introduce themselves. Joann and Barbara, if you can just let us know. Well, you can just say your name because some of us are new, right? We haven't met you before. And this is recorded too, so I'll be able to share it with the rest of the group that doesn't come on Tuesdays or that couldn't make it today. But who you are, where you are now, what college, and what you're studying. And then we have questions that I know the group wanted to ask you about your experiences at your two institutions. So Joann, if you want to start, that's okay.
Yeah, no problem. So like Coach said, I transferred last year, 2020 from City College. I started City College in 2017. So I was there for 2.5 years. I went to summer school online and everything at SDSU, transferred to SDSU. I am a pre-DPT kinesiology major. I left City College with 2 science degrees and my transfer certificate for CSU.
All right,
Barbara?
and yeah, no, that's perfect. Yeah, and then Barbara.
Okay, hi everyone. I'm Barbara. I'm a transfer from City College, transferred last year like Joann, and I'm studying marine biology at UCSD, Scripps Institution of Oceanography. And what else? I started City College a long time ago, but I finally made it to transfer. Yeah, that's it, right?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. And just a little bit of background for you guys too on Barbara and Joann. They both came, let's see, if I remember correctly, Joann, you had been in one of Coach Ellen's courses and she had said, there's someone in my class that's interested and wants to, or she runs and is interested in running. And that's how you and I connected. And so Joann hadn't run in high school or anything like that. And she joined our team and was a great role model for the group, for her time with us. Super organized, I think, in terms of getting all of her stuff done. Same with Barbara too. Barbara, similar, hadn't run before, had been in, I think you were in one of the spring classes, Barbara. I think that was when you were in one of our spring running classes. And then obviously I invited Barbara. She liked running. I invited her to keep coming out. She did. Barbara's been one of our team captains. And I think she's done a good job. Like she said, she was at City for a while when she first started, but she had things that she needed to get taken care of, and she did. And now she's at where she wants to be. And so that's a little bit of background just on how they ended up with our program and then where they are now. And I know that the group, I asked them, Joann and Barbara, a couple questions to send me about. They want to ask you guys about some of your experiences. You guys can take turns answering these questions. We have a few of them here. So the first one is, okay, so what resources do you recommend students use at City College?
All of them. I would definitely apply to everything, even if it doesn't seem like you might qualify. Like there's always people that can help you or at least lead you in the right direction. Like I didn't qualify for EOPS, but there were other things that I qualified for that, that offers help or offers scholarship or offers you some like guidance or leadership. Just like me, I started my first semester, my second semester I had biology. and I was really scared. But I know the first semester I took Spanish and I was familiar with the tutoring center. And so like, tutoring's free. And I thought that was amazing. And I didn't even know that going into City College. So of course, like once I learned that, like I used it for all my classes and everything that they offered. And especially for like, if you're serious about transferring, definitely talk to the transfer center. And your coaches can help you with that as well.
And you ended up, I mean, you became a tutor, Joann.
Yes, I am
Yeah.
still employed at City College as a tutor for all levels of biology. I'm also a TA at SDSU for biomechanics, which is like physics for body movement.
Cool, very cool. All right, Barbara, same question for you. It's what resources do you recommend students use at City College?
Well, I can think of the MESA program. I use that. I was involved with the MESA program, which is for STEM majors. If any of you are majoring in mathematics, biology, engineering, it's a great program for that. There's a saying we have in the MESA program that, and I'm going to butcher it, I can't remember it now, Corner Man would be very disappointed, but basically the MESA program doesn't do anything for you. It fights basically with you, and the amount of effort you put in is the amount of effort you'll get out of it. So it really teaches you to be, to fight for your education, and you get things going. But I use that. The director is Rafael Alvarez, and he was extremely helpful. And just right now, I can use this as an example. I did a summer research program on Catalina Island, and he connected me to somebody over at Scripps when I was at City, who connected me to a professor at Scripps, and we connected and we met before the program. After the program, I actually volunteered in his lab when I was still at City College. And now I'm taking one of this professor, Dr. Bartlett, I'm taking his class now. And I'm possibly going to do research with him over the summer, just through that connection that I made when I was at City College through Rafael. So the MESA program is great. And I would also say the honors program, that helps you connect with your professors on another level that not a lot of students take advantage of. Mm-hmm. And say you're taking a class you're super interested in, humanities, science, really anything, you can make an honors contract out of that. And that will help you, again, build a relationship with your professor. Also, thinking about letters of recommendation, and again, more connections through that professor. So the MESA program, if you're not a STEM major, go through honors. And I'm pretty sure there's more clubs out there, or just talking to people, talking to your professors and making those connections and seeing what else is there.
Yeah, and I remember with you, Barbara, you did those internships a couple summers. And those, I think, I remember when you were doing those, and I think they definitely helped you getting, you had said UCSD, that's where I want to go. And you did those internships, and that helped you get there.
I think so, because my GPA, it was good, not a 4.0, but the internships that I did, I think really helped me get to where I am now, and with the experience. So.
And I thought you did that really well. So and I use you as an example. So thank you. One of my many examples I get to use you guys for. So thank you so much. All right, our next question. And anybody can take this one. So Joann, Barbara, if you want to flip flop who goes first, you can. But this one is, if you could, let's do this one. My question is, how do you keep yourself motivated throughout the semester?
Barbara, you can start.
I'm laughing now, I'm sorry, because the quarter system, I gotta say, it's pretty intense. I'm in week 6, And definitely 4, 5, and 6. I have to be honest. You do lose motivation just because everything's coming down on you. That's not to say I'm giving up. How do I keep motivated? Well, for starters, running. I have to be honest. Whenever I run, it basically clears my head and it's like a fresh start. So that helps me. And looking at the ultimate goal. It was hard for me staying motivated when I was at community college, especially when I didn't see myself transferring or what am I going to do? I was always stuck on, okay, what's the end goal here, you know, until I stopped putting so much pressure on myself and just followed my passion, which is marine microbiology. And I thought, okay, I'm going to follow my passion and then I'll find out like where it takes me. But obviously being smart about my choices, you know, I'm not going to be following my passion and taking a humanities class when I want to focus on a STEM major. But basically knowing what your goal is what keeps me motivated, the end goal, having a goal in mind. And I think with running too, what keeps me motivated to run is having an end goal with that. So there's my long answer.
That's great.
Yeah, it is great. Physical activity definitely helps. I like to get it done earlier than later before I start. You know, I'm working. We all are working more online, so it is beneficial and necessary for mental and physical health. Um, but definitely stay motivated. Just like she said, like there is a bigger picture, right? Like you're the only one making your dreams a reality, right? And so how bad do you want it? Like I'm on week 15. This final starts on Friday for me. So, you know, like I'm feeling it. Like, and this week is also showing you like how comfortable are you going into finals? You know what I mean? Like this has everything to do with you and really nothing to do with what book they use or what slides they use. You know what I mean? This is all like coach even said it, like it has to do with your grit. So you need to stay gritty, like week 6, 7, 8, and all the way through, you know, from exam. I know from exam 2 to the exam 3, it's, you know, that's like the long haul.
Mm-hmm.
All right, awesome. Thank you guys. Okay,
so another note with that, Raphael made that poster. I don't know if he sent it to one of you guys, but he calls it the race. I think I met with him once and he asked me, do you stop in the middle of a race? Like, do you stop in the middle of the semester? No, you have to keep going. So yeah, that's a good one to keep motivated throughout the semester too.
I think I remember him telling me he had that conversation with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. He said it helped. He's like, oh, she's on the team that helps the analogy much better.
Uh-huh.
All right, let's see. If you could redo something about your time at City, what would it be? Or do something different?
I can start with this one. I would definitely participate more in some of like the clubs that deal with like philanthropy or giving back to community service. It looks really good on your CV and it really helps with a lot of scholarships once you get over here. And it will also help, you know, like if you're volunteering in something that is, you know, part of your major, you know, like right now I'm completing inpatient and outpatient volunteer hours at a physical therapy and rehab center, right? So I need, you know, I could have started that earlier at City College, so it wouldn't have been so much of a pressure because now I'm applying to these programs and they'll need anywhere between 80 to 200 hours, right? It depends on what program. So that's looking at the big picture, right? Staying motivated, you know, and staying organized, right? Like what school is your goal, you know, and you have to shoot high. So, you know, and have your top 5 and see what they really stay organized and see what they need, because a lot of that planning is you're doing it now, like you're doing it at City College before you transfer into the university. But like I said, there are a lot of tools at City College. You just have to really ask or send the right email or, talk to somebody. But yeah, definitely like getting to know your cohort, people with similar majors. I participated in SOCNAS. I don't know if Barbara participated in that too, but that was like science-based as well. But it's the hours don't always, you can only give so much, but I would have participated in a bit more of like clubs and like philanthropy.
I would have done my core classes first. Get all the STEM out of the way, general chemistry, biology, and math. I would have started with that. If I could go back, that would have helped me out and figure things out sooner and given me more time, say if I failed the class or had to retake it for whatever reason. And probably join a math club or something. I still want to focus on math, but none of my classes really require that. But I would have joined some kind of math or robotics team or something just to try that out.
So you guys have mentioned a couple of times, it's finding something on campus that was maybe related, even not, I guess math would be somewhat related, right, to your field, Barbara, but doing something like that, finding another group on campus that would expose you to, either volunteering or a group of people who you can rely on in the future.
Yeah, which cross country is also, was a great outlet as well. And I was very thankful that Ellen that summer, approached me, you know what I mean? And I had fun. Like I had a great time in cross country.
All right. Okay. Another question. Let's see. This one kind of follows from the last couple ones. So if you work or you have stuff outside of just school, how do you balance school, work, and maybe when you were on the team, your team commitment, and now other commitments you have? So how do you do that?
I could start with that one. So when I was at City College, I was going to, I think my last 2 years, I was going to school part-time and working closer to full-time. And now I switched and I'm working part-time and I'm going to school full-time. It's just this kind of balance of how much do you have to work so you can pay your bills and how many classes you have to take this semester to be on the right track. And that goes with planning the ed plan and going with that, making a schedule for the week and trying to stay on that schedule. I know now I utilize it a lot more. I make like a weekly schedule and block out the days where I work and the times where I have classes and times for homework. And trying to fit in some kind of fun in between as well, because we can't forget that. So.
Yeah, definitely Google Calendar. I've been living off of that since the beginning. Like I tried to do it before I was even in academics and never utilized it to its full potential, but definitely now, like anytime someone is asking for a date or just a slot of my time, like you have to enter in right away. And because you can't, like Barbara said, you have to give yourself a break sometimes, you know what I mean? And definitely now this whole year online, like we've been scheduling stuff like right after another, so you really have to like, be honest with yourself and, like take a break when you need one. But yeah, you need to look ahead, right? So that's the same as looking at the big picture. So now you're looking at the big picture like week by week, right? So, hopefully like once you get all your syllabuses in week 1, you enter in all your test dates, you know what I mean? So then you know what you can do when it comes to like working or clubs or athletic responsibilities. But give yourself time, you know what I mean? Like like now I'm tutoring, I tutor about 20 hours online, and then I'm bartending on the weekend, and it's a lot of work, you know what I mean? But you know, like I know I can do it. So, you know, you believe in yourself and you prove it to yourself, and you just keep going.
All right, and I have to say, Joann, out of all the people so far that I've worked with at City, you have been the best when it came to your schedule. I mean, I could count, if I told Joann practice was here, we need to have this thing, I knew it, she was coming, or she told me she couldn't make it, but she almost always made it. And I didn't know how you did it, but I have to give you big kudos for that. And I know it's because of the schedule and how you use your schedule. So I know it works. I know and it's a skill. It's not easy to use, even for me and Coach Ellen. Sometimes, you know, if we don't pay attention to our schedule, of course it's gonna, you know,
It can, yeah, it can go awry. You know, I don't drive, and I still don't drive. So you know, I use the trolley, I use the bus, you know, but I did get helped, you know. Barbara did give me a ride before. Callie gave me a ride before, you know what I mean? Like, it's the same thing, you know, don't be shy to ask for help when you need it too, you know what I mean? Like, it's okay to ask for help.
All right, so this one, these are about these next couple ones are about letters of recommendation and then scholarships. So this question is, if you're asking for letters of, or should your letters of recommendations from professors be related to your major, or can you just get a letter of recommendation from any professor or anyone on campus?
I can start with this one. I think that they would prefer, you know, it be related to your major, depending on what what this letter of recommendation is for, you know, if it's for a scholarship or something like that. For CSU, Barbara can speak on the UC, but for the CSU, they didn't ask for letters of rec. They asked for letters of rec for the EOPS program. But I mean, you will need those letters of rec, you know, because you can start applying for scholarships. So, you know, like I would definitely make the connections with the professors that know you, right? So I think what really makes the letter of rec is that the professor or teacher or, you know, personnel, like they can really vouch for you, right? You don't want it to be a cut and paste letter. Like, I've seen it, you know what I mean? And I don't know if everyone else has seen it, but like, it looks like they just cut and pasted a name. Like, it didn't speak toward your personality or what you really accomplished in the class, right? You really want that person to vouch for your academics, or, you know, whatever that position may be, like whether it be for academics or like, I think sometimes they ask for how qualified, you know, like, are you for completing this program, right? Or not necessarily qualified, but you get what I'm saying. But Barbara can talk about, I know she needed letters of rec.
Yeah, let's see. I've asked for letters of recommendation. I probably asked you, Coach Marco, too, for one or two for a program. I would say it depends on what you're applying to. For instance, I could use the internship that I applied for when I went to Oregon. It asked for 2 letters of recommendation, and I had a biology professor that I thought, okay, great. I get one from biology, and then the other one was from Raphael from the MESA program. And the reason why I thought it was okay to ask Raphael was because he knew me, he knew my background, he knew what I wanted to study, and he sees me all the time at the in the MESA program as well. So as long as the person writing you the letter of recommendation, it doesn't necessarily have to be from your major, but knows where you're headed, your background, and make sure they acknowledge that in the letter of recommendation. I think that would be better than just getting, like Joann was saying, somebody just copy paste, barely knows you, but their title is better. I think it's always best to have somebody that knows you.
Can I add something there? You can ask the professor or your boss or whoever you're asking for the letter of recommendation if they'd like maybe you to send a short summary of your accomplishments, because often I have to ask students for that if I really don't know all their accomplishments or I'm not sure about them. I ask them just to send me, you know, a list. You don't have to write an essay, and that helps the professor. You know, it might spark their memory or just give them more information about you, you know, that they don't know about.
Yeah, definitely. If you haven't, like an academic resume, like if it's, you know, like if you haven't been in contact with that professor for like, say, over a semester, or you've changed your major even, but you know that you can still get a letter of rec from them. Like if you attach the CV, which has like your volunteers, your awards, you know what I mean? So they have a better understanding of who you are, and they can at least speak toward your accomplishments because you had provided it for them. You know what I mean?
How would you guys recommend that the students, I guess, cultivate a relationship with someone on campus so that they may be able to ask them? Did you guys do that on purpose, or did you just happen to, oh, I ended up having a close relationship with someone on campus that I could ask?
Well, for me, I would utilize office hours a lot. And that's how you build a relationship with that professor. And so it just happened, not purposely, like I was looking for a letter of recommendation, I'm going to go in and talk to them. No, it just actually, you go to office hours because you need help with something. And it just so happens you get to know that professor more, and you talk about different things, your interests, and then you build this relationship. And another thing to note before I forget, even now, now that I'm at UCSD, I still keep in contact with professors at City College, and I'll send them an email sometimes just updating them on what I have going on, what I have for the future, and just thanking them for helping me when I was at community college. So you want to keep that relationship there, even though you're gone or you're taking different classes. So utilizing office hours is how I think I was building those relationships.
Yeah, I usually also, you know, in these larger classes now at SDSU, like it's hard, right? They're weeding me out of 300 or 300 plus, right? So you know, even if it's a TA, or if I can get to the professor, like send the email, you know what I mean? Like even if it's within the first week, even if you understand that syllabus, you know, 100%, like ask them a question about it, like, you know what I mean? Like something about the material, or that first week, you know what I mean? And you know, they're going to see your name, you know what I mean? And they're going to start paying attention to who you are, you know, because you show up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I know, I love it, right? Ellen, you can probably speak to this too. Anytime a student asks questions, I love it. Every time they come back, and you definitely know who they are with the more that they ask questions, whether or not it's, you know, there are no bad questions. The more you hear from them, the more that you're going to know who they are, for sure. All right, here's a follow-up question similar to that one is, how did you find scholarships to apply for, and which ones, if you can remember, which ones did you apply for?
I could start on City's website. They have like a scholarship page. Not exactly sure what it is, but if you just search San Diego City College scholarships, and I applied for Friends of Downtown. I got that one. That one's in the fall. And then I applied to, so the year I was transferring, I applied to so many. I think it was about 13 of them that I applied for outside of City, and the ones at City. And I got a biology one from City and another one that were both, and I make a big deal because it's like I did in one full day, I put all these applications in, and I got a little bit over $2,000 that I bought a computer with, because mine was totally bad and I needed a new one. And with that scholarship money, I got something really good for me and for a student, you know. So applying is so important. And then outside scholarships, I think Sylvia, I want to say that's her name. She's in charge of like associated student or something.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Sylvia
Yeah.
Rodriguez. Mhm.
She sends out emails and she sends out links to scholarships. There's another website called San Diego Foundation Scholarships, I think, and they have a list of scholarships as well. They have a lot, and I got another scholarship from there, Helen Keller or something like that. Anywho, so applying to scholarships is so important. They have the same thing at UCSD. They have a website and a list of scholarships. I'm actually applying to 2 more in the next couple of weeks because, they don't take so much. And for me, at least, ever since I started doing research programs and everything, it's been nonstop asking for personal statements. So I have so many to choose from, and it's like a common thing to write personal statement essays, and I could go ahead and pick and recycle some stuff, but then as you move on like into your future, you change a lot, but you get into this rhythm of doing this over and over again, that these scholarships applying for scholarships become easier and easier. So I would take advantage of those scholarships now and at the university level as well, like I'm doing right now. It's free.
Yeah, free money. You have to try. You have to try, right? If they're offering it, like, stand in that line. Definitely, my good grades helped me to automatically qualify and be entered into scholarships. I was granted one through Marco, I believe, through the running association one. And all your honor societies, whichever honor society you qualify for, you usually are automatically entered into whatever they're offering. At SDSU right now, I just got accepted into Mortarboard and Tau Sigma, and so both of those will automatically put me into the pool of even, and these are without essays. You know what I mean? Like, this is because I qualified because of the 3.5 or above GPA. So, like keeping that scholarship also, like academics, shows your scholarship and that you're worthy for it as well. Because they can see your FAFSA too, right? They can see whether or not you're in need or not, right? Like I know when someone sees my FAFSA, it looks like I need help.
And well, that's great. And because you guys are talking about scholarships, it's I know that the team, you guys get tired of me showing you, but if you're not sure, I have our site. I think you guys are, there's Barbara and Joann. And then if you go to resources, right, I usually have a button of the most important stuff, and there it is right here, scholarship page. This takes you to cities, and then I save scholarships that I get all these sorts of things, and I usually try to put them here. This one is usually the links work and they're updated. So if you're poking around, a good place to start is the team site. All
yeah,
right, let's see.
Academic Works. Yeah, so we use the same at SDSU, like Academic Works, like the same thing with the keeping your calendar, right? Because there are deadlines to scholarship too, right? And the earlier you can get it done, the more of that you can send it to the English Center or to somebody else that they can, so you can get at least another set of eyes on it. Sometimes the prompts are really very easy and they really are not asking for a lot nowadays. Like they're asking for 200 words, 500 words. Like you can do that. It's like 1 page, or 2 paragraphs even, or even one really long paragraph.
All right, here's a follow-up question for you guys. When you were applying to your colleges you wanted to transfer to, did you do it by yourself or did you seek out help to help you with the various parts of to applying?
I could start. It was not a one person job at all. Me and Joann actually would work on it together too. And we were at the transfer center. They had workshops and they had a lot of people there closer to the deadline. If it's I mean, I know with COVID and everything, they're not open obviously, but when they do open, going earlier is better. But no, you get help from wherever you can. I was at the MESA program a lot, getting help from Raphael, my sisters, or anything, because you need to make sure all your forms are in, like financial aid, your transcripts, and all of that jazz. So yeah, definitely ask for help everywhere.
And there are a lot of resources on a lot of those application sites too, right? So, like if you're applying this year, like I would look at that website now, because there's probably like how to, because I know the CSU had like a whole pamphlet, right? There's a certain ways that you had to enter in your W's. There were certain ways that you had to enter if you had a no credit class, you know what I mean? And those count as points, and those points, count toward where you're going to be in that application process, right? So it's not just your GPA, it's how well you filled out this form. Will also determine, I think that might be the first reading, like whether or not you filled out the form correctly, right? So whether, you can follow those directions, but there are resources online for you. Like I was, during that last 2 semesters, or those semesters leading up to applying, I made sure to see more than one counselor. Like I was there at the transfer center, like, and also making sure, that the school that you're applying to, right, that you're meeting everything for them as well, right? Because you get so many for free for the CSU, so you don't want to also, like, if you went beyond this amount that you wanted to apply for, you don't want to be wasting your money, because applications do cost money.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, those are all the questions that I had been given, but does anybody here have any follow-up questions for Joann and Barbara?
Well, maybe once you're at the university, and you're establishing yourself, how did you feel about the environment? The diversity is what I'm kind of leading on to. City's a very diverse campus, and we pride ourselves in that, and we pride ourselves in our inclusion. Were you feeling that as well, or what was the atmosphere?
I still feel SDSU has a very diverse, community there, different groups of people, and they do reach out to you, like, even though like everything has been online for me, like, they include you. There are like certain, like, I'm sure we don't want to do any more Zoom meetings, but they're like Zoom, they're always inviting us to Zoom, mental health Zoom, like they're, they are trying, because they know that we missed out a little bit.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I would say it's still very diverse.
For UCSD, it's not that diverse. And it is tough not to see people that you would normally relate to. And I guess I'm used to it. Just I put my head down and I'm just ready to work. And obviously with online classes, it's so much harder to connect with people. Mm-hmm. That also can take a toll on your motivation, not being able to build study groups and everything. But again, remembering the end goal is what helps me. But yeah, it's not that diverse at UCSD from what I've seen in Zoom.
Let's see, I thought of a couple questions here. If you guys have them, you can put them in the chat box, and then I won't skip you. But let's see, what has been one of your favorite classes so far? Or you can answer what gets you excited about your major.
Ooh, I can speak on that because I'm in a class that I absolutely love right now. And it might blow your mind. It's microbes living in extreme environments. And our last lecture was just on microbes living in the air and in clouds. And the lecture before that was about microbes living and taking nutrients from the air, just straight up eating stuff that is out of the air. How they do it, they have, I could go on. It's all about their metabolism, and it's these like we're talking about microbes. It's just incredible. And this class is just all about microbes in living in extreme environments like high temperature, high pressure, deep sea sediment microbes, living in the guts of other organisms, helping them take in nutrients. They do these incredible things, and it's one of my favorite classes, and that's what I want to focus on later on, thinking about grad school. So yeah,
I like it.
And Joann, have you had a favorite class so far, or something that gets you excited about what you're pursuing?
You know, I love school. um, you know, I really researched my path, like my major and what I wanted to be, and I can see why general ed is general ed. I understand why these prerequisites are necessary, like, you know what I mean, and why good grades are necessary, because you will see it again, and the more that you have retained it, the bigger the success, you know what I mean? Like, you know, some people, they don't like the chemistry, or they can't handle the physiology of, you know, of human, you know, this human biology major. But it's necessary. If you're very passionate about where you want to end up, you will understand that success in these courses like will lead to your success in your career. And it is all connected. There's a reason why the school set it up this way, you know what I mean? Like, this is they're building you to be this, to succeed in that career. Like, it's all connected. But the class I TA right now is biomechanics, and definitely one of the sciences that I struggled with was the physics. Like, me and Barbara knows, like, but biomechanics is physics. Like, I'm doing vectors again for sure. But now it's like the ankle, the shoulder, the knee, you know what I mean? And if I didn't succeed in anatomy, or, you know, or put the work in physics, I wouldn't have been able to, you know, be successful in that class, or even have the opportunity to TA this class, you know what I mean? But
Awesome.
my favorite class is definitely City College, human dissection. It's definitely still my favorite, my number one class, because I know when I do get into the DPT program, I'll probably have to dissect the human again. So.
All right, awesome. Well, as I don't see any other questions in our chat or anything like that, but I really want to thank Barbara and Joann. I want to thank you guys for making time to talk to the group we have now. You know, you guys have been great role models for the group on your time on the team. And I've always said you inspire us once you leave. You know, you're still part of our group, and you're kind of blazing the path for everyone to help them see that, you know, sharing your experiences, that it's possible, right? And it wasn't easy, but it's possible, as long as you know, like you guys said, you know, a lot of relying on people asking for help. And so
Yeah.
I really appreciate that. Thank you for coming. If you guys want to say anything to the group before we hop off here, you have the opportunity.
You know, the 5Ks, you know, pretty hard too, but, you know, like, the connections you make now, like, it really helps. Like, you know, look at me and Barbara, like, we're still here, like, we're here with you, like, City College, cross country, you know what I mean? Like, Coach Marco, Coach Ellen, you know, we appreciate you all too, because, you know, you put in the work, and you see it in us, and I know he sees it in all of you as well, and so does Ellen.
I was just going to say that there's going to be times where you're not going to want to do anything, or I mean, for me personally, because I've been there, you know, but again, it's with this like end goal, and with running too. Sometimes I get lazy to run, but there's a bigger picture you're trying to get to. And just remember that, and that will keep you motivated. And the fact that you're here running and on a team, that looks great on your resume, or that you're in extracurricular activities too. So kudos. And Coach Marco is the best. So just keep in contact with him if anything comes up. I know I always did if work on the way or something, but he knew that always running was one of my priorities as well. So.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much. I know we'll still be in touch. We'll hear from you guys as you guys continue on your way, and maybe some of us will join you at your schools in the future. But thank you guys. I have this saved for our team. I'll save it and share it with the group later because you guys' responses were excellent. Things to share. So thank you guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
See you soon.
Bye.
See you soon.